Hello there. Welcome to the YouTube. How you doing? Well, to let you know, I have absolutely no idea if we're gonna be able to go for the usual hour-ish time. Cause, yeah, it's, 2 o'clock is supposed to be clear, which is when I'm recording this. But, yeah, I don't trust that for an inch nor a mile. So, let's go ahead and get started so, we don't waste too much time. Now, Leviticus, chapter 19. You know what? Let's go ambitious with this. Let's go real ambitious. Let's go verse 1. And the Lord spake unto Moses, saying, Speak unto all the congregation of the children of Israel, and say unto them, Ye shall be holy, for I the Lord your God am holy. I got standards. Ye shall fear every man his mother and his father, and keep thy Sabbaths. This is, of course, unsurprisingly presuming, everybody's doing what they should as a mother or a father. Considering it's kind of the prerequisite here. Because, if they are, they're human, but they're trying the best, as all parents are. Yeah, no, listen, considering they've been on this earth a lot longer than you have, they have experience. And if nothing else, they have experience screwing up, and maybe you can learn from that at least. And of course, keeping the Sabbaths, again, you're not a machine. You can't work 24/7. Take a break. This is God mandatory break. The entire nation was supposed to do this. Much as they could, of course. I am the Lord your God. Turn ye not unto idols, nor make to yourselves molten gods. I am the Lord your God. And if ye offer a sacrifice of peace offerings unto the Lord, ye shall offer it at your own will. Nobody's gonna force you. Not a judge, not me, not friend from down the street. This is strictly you. It shall be eaten the same day ye offer it, and on the morrow. And if aught remain until the 3rd day, it shall be burnt in the fire. As you can guess, Jesus reference right there. Peace offering, sacrifice for you. Did it of their own will. Didn't remain the 3rd day. All that such. And if being eaten at all on the 3rd day, it is abominable. It shall not be accepted. Therefore, every one that eateth it shall bear his iniquity, because he hath profaned the hallowed thing of the Lord. I gave you one job. One simple little instruction. It's like taking medicine. Got very simple instructions on it. If you mess that one up, that one's on you. And that soul shall be cut off from among his people. And when ye reap the harvest of your land, thou shalt not wholly reap the corners of thy field, neither shalt thou gather the gleanings of thy harvest. And thou shalt not glean thy vineyard, neither shalt thou gather every grape of thy vineyard. In other words, don't be thorough. If you miss some, you miss some. It's not that big a deal. Specifically because thou shalt leave them for the poor and stranger. I am the Lord your God. He's going to emphasize that one quite a lot, and considering what happened in the book of Exodus and the golden calf incident, yeah, no, I don't blame him. But yeah, That's actually a very lovely policy. Well, of course, it wouldn't work for every area. I do wish we had something similar to that. But, you know, this guy, he just did his harvest. That means the rest of it that happens to still be there, it's free to eat. Go on, go ahead. If you're poor and can't afford anything, or if you're a stranger and you got no money, because, you know, you spent it all in your travels, yeah, go right ahead. Eat the thing. But that one's been picked already. It's alright, there's another guy down the street. He just finished picking his. It's lovely. Ye shall not steal, neither deal falsely, neither lie one to another. And ye shall not swear by my name falsely. Neither shalt thou profane the name of thy God. I am the Lord. Unsurprisingly, God's name's supposed to hold some weight. Don't just use it willy-nilly, otherwise we're gonna get to the boy who cried wolf situation. If you're swearing by God, like, by God, I saw this happen, you better have seen it happen. Stated his name carries some weight. As it should. Thou shalt not defraud thy neighbor, neither rob him. The wages of him that is hired shall not abide with thee all night until the morning. In other words, let's say you hire a guy, and you're supposed to pay him this specific day. Don't wait to pay him. You promised you pay him on that day, you pay him on that day. Thou shalt not curse the deaf, nor put a stumbling block before the blind, but shalt fear the Lord thy God. But shalt fear thy God. I am the Lord. Yeah, unsurprisingly, don't be a jerk. Ye shall do no unrighteousness in judgment. Thou shalt not respect the person of the poor, nor honor the person of the mighty, but in righteousness shalt thou judge thy neighbor. This isn't in terms of like, man, that guy just sucks. I despise him. He's the worst person I ever did meet. Not that type of judging. It is quite literally, you know, go into court judging. In which, literally all it's saying is, justice is blind. Doesn't matter who takes that stand. If they're innocent, they're innocent. If they're not, they're not. Don't care. Moving on. Thou shalt not go up and down as a talebearer among thy people. Neither shalt thou stand against the blood of thy neighbor. I am the Lord. I'm guessing that's gossip. I'm not certain what neither shalt thou stand against the blood of thy neighbor. Not 100% certain, but the talebearer is definitely just actually gossip. Don't spread rumors and lies about people. Don't just talk behind their back. That's just rude. That ain't nobody gonna trust you with anything, because if you're gonna spill these secrets, why wouldn't you spill mine? Why would I trust you if you're gonna spill my secrets as well? Thou shalt not hate thy brother in thine heart. Neither thou shalt not hate thy brother in thine heart. Thou shalt in any wise rebuke thy neighbor, and not suffer sin upon him. In other words, you may not particularly like this guy. Don't wish them ill. Look, this may not be your favorite person in the world. But the way I always thought about it is like, okay, but what if they were in a fire and you're the only one there to help? And you have the qualifications to do so, let's say. If you don't like them, then they may not be your most favorite person in the world, but you're gonna go help them. If you hate them, you're going to pull up a lawn chair, record their screams for your Spotify, and roast some marshmallows. That's hatred. Don't do that. If you got the ability to help, I don't care how much you dislike this person, help them. Thou shalt not avenge, nor bear any grudge against the children of thy people, but thou shalt love thy neighbor as thyself. I am the Lord. Yeah, a lot of people think, probably at least, think that comes from the New Testament. No, this is an Old Testament thing. It's been here quite the while. Love thy neighbor as thyself, and do unto others as you would have them do unto you. Yeah, it's been here quite the while. You shall keep my statutes. In other words, if I tell you to do something, or any of these particular laws, just do it, okay? Thou shalt not let thy cattle gender with a diverse kind. Thou shalt not sow thy field with mingled seed, neither shall a garment mingled of linen and woolen come upon thee. God's all about that purity. Both just in general, and in symbolism. One of the reasons why he's so big about being clean as well. He's all about that purity. And he's gonna make certain to hammer the point home in as many areas of life as possible. So, like, for an example, you're sowing a field, putting down some seeds. This field's got rutabaga. Don't plant beet seeds in the rutabaga field. Just don't do it. It's also, how we have a pretty good hint that the Shroud of Turin is a legitimate piece, and why one of the earlier tests just kind of failed completely. You see, the thing had been in multiple fires, and as such had been repaired a few times. One of the parts that they decided to tear off the test to make certain this was legitimate, was a completely different, make to it. I forget, I'm pretty sure this is like a linen thing, so let's say it was repaired with wool. So there's your first clue that, maybe that didn't work. And, of course, unsurprisingly, that would have come from much, much later. Which is why that particular test should not have counted. But, testing the actual garment, it does date back to where it should, and it is made of one particular piece. As stated. Like the, like this says. Don't mix like wool and cotton, or cotton and linen, or linen and wool. You gotta make it out of the one thing, right? Stated, it's one of the reasons we know that the Shroud of Turin's legitimate. Not to mention the fact that we have no actual clue how in the world the burnt image got on it in the first place. But that's a whole different discussion. Anyway, verse 20. And whosoever lieth carnally with a woman, that is a bondmaid, betrothed to an husband, and not at all redeemed, nor freedom given her, she shall be scourged. They shall not be put to death, because she was not free. And he shall bring his trespass offering unto the Lord, unto the door of the tabernacle of the congregation, even a ram for a trespass offering. And the priest shall make an atonement for him with the ram of the trespass offering before the Lord for his sin which he hath done. And the sin which he hath done shall be forgiven him. and when ye shall come into the land. Oh no, that was it for that. I wonder if, like, in Hebrew, there's, like, a subtlety that we're missing in English. Because that happens sometimes. Because it seems a little weird, like, whosoever lieth carnally with a woman that is a bondmaid and all that such, she shall be scourged. I would presume that means she was 100% willing and able. In other words, she chose to do this. Because otherwise, that's just a little odd. So presumably there's some Hebrew subtlety that's missing in English. I'm not certain. But that is an odd one. And the priest shall make an atonement for... Yeah, I read that. And when ye shall come into the land, and shall have planted all manner of trees for food, then ye shall count the fruit thereof as uncircumcised. 3 years shall it be as uncircumcised unto you. It shall not be eaten of. But in the 4th year, all the fruit thereof shall be holy, to praise the Lord withal. In other words, give it a few years. I'm not certain as to why, but give it a few years for the fruit of the land you're gonna get to purify for a bit before you start sacrificing it and all. And similarly, don't eat it. I'm not, once again, certain as to why. I know this is like pre-planted trees. I don't know. Maybe the people that were here did something to it. Maybe they genetically modified it or something. But, either way. But in the 4th year, all the fruit thereof shall be holy, to praise the Lord withal. So you're gonna be just fine. And in the 5th year shall ye eat of the fruit thereof, that it may yield unto you the increase thereof. I am the Lord your God. Very interesting that it's pure for God for the 4th year, but only pure for consumption for the 5th. I wonder why. You shall not eat anything with the blood, neither shall ye use enchantment, nor observe times. Yeah, none of that Mercury is in retrograde nonsense. We're not doing that. That's not how that works. And, unsurprisingly, yeah, don't eat blood. That's just gross. Don't do that. That's not healthy. I keep getting a call. And it is annoying. But either way, let's get back to this. You shall not round the corners of your heads, neither shalt thou mar the corners of thy beard. I just fully don't know what that one is. What the heck is rounding the corner of your head? Or marring the corner of your beard? You shall not make any cuttings in your flesh for the dead. It's like a mourning a thing that people did in mourning. Sometimes they would just cut themselves. Because, they're depressed. Don't do that. It's not good for you. Don't do that. Nor print any marks upon you. There's the tattoo thing, by the way. I am the Lord. Do not prostitute thy daughter, to cause her to be a whore, lest the land fall to whoredom, and the land become full of wickedness. That? And why the heck would you do that, you absolute disgusting buffoon? You shall keep my Sabbaths, and reverence my sanctuary. I am the Lord. Regard not them that have familiar spirits, neither seek after wizards to be defiled by them. I am the Lord your God. Yeah, unsurprisingly, if they got quote-unquote friends on the other side, yeah, no, don't listen to them. They ain't trustworthy. They may say they're channeling the ghost of your dead friend. They're not. There's a demon right there. And they ain't trustworthy. Like, not in the actual slightest. Thou shalt rise up before the hoary head. Hoary in this case is Hoary. In other words, the gray-headed old man. And honor the face of the old man, and fear thy God. I am the Lord. In other words, just to have some respect for your elders. They've been around a lot longer than you have. There's a lot of wisdom to be passed down. There's a lot of people that are just like, please. What does that guy know? Times have changed, old man. Yeah. No. The principles that they learned for how to live and the lessons that they learned through trial and error. Yeah, listen. While certain things may have certainly changed, the fundamentals of life most certainly have not. There's a lot to be gleaned from people who actually have the experience of life. Certain things may have changed. I mean, heck, I'm talking to a random person on the internet. As a random person on the internet, by just recording a video. I ain't even here. I'm probably eating right now. You know? I could be asleep. The wonders of modern technology are amazing. But, while this may be a new thing, again, the basic principles of life and the lessons you can take from somebody who's actually lived it, yeah, it's a good thing to take. And if a stranger sojourn with thee in your land, ye shall not vex him. But the stranger that dwelleth with you shall be unto you as one born among you, and thou shalt love him as thyself. For ye were strangers in the land of Egypt. I am the Lord your God. Just put that little extra bit of emphasis on this. Because it's very easy to say like, ah, great. There's that guy from, I don't know, Cuba. Can't stand him. Absolutely despise him. Don't do that. He's just a guy trying to make his way in the world. How about you be nice to him for a change? See where that gets you. He could be your best friend in the world. You never know. That, and he may be struggling with things that you would never know. So help him along if you can. Be nice. Be a decent human being. It's not hard. It feels it sometimes, but it's not hard. But don't treat people like dirt. That's just rude. You shall do no unrighteousness in judgment, in meteyard, in weight, or in measure. Just balances, just weights, a just ephah, and a just hin shall ye have. In other words, okay, there was this little practice back in the day where they would weigh out money on scales, like you gotta pay this much. And when the scales got balanced, well, congratulations, that's how much you paid. Thing is, some people would weigh the scales in their favor, like put a bag of supposedly gold on it to weigh it, and when it was even, they'd leave. The guy would check the bag full of gold, that's rocks. Or, of course, vice versa, where to try to get them to pay more money, the merchant would put rocks in the bag. Don't do that. That's just scummy. Another one of those things that's just gonna make you really, really hate it. And, maybe don't do that to yourself. That doesn't tend to end well. I am the Lord your God, which brought you out of the land of Egypt. Therefore shall ye observe all my statutes and my judgments, and do them. I am the Lord. Stated. He is going to emphasize that. And which, once again, considering the golden calf instant, yeah, I don't blame him. Chapter 20. And the Lord spake unto Moses, saying, Again, thou shalt say to the children of Israel, Whosoever he be of the children of Israel, or of the strangers that sojourn in Israel, that giveth any of his seed unto Molech, he shall surely be put to death. The people of the land shall stone him with stones. But why precisely is that? He's just sacrificing something to Molech. Yeah, the practice at the time was burning your child alive. I don't know if there was like a specific age limit. I just know it was your child. That could be teenager, could be child, could be a baby. Don't burn the baby alive. God's very much not a fan if you hurt children, as you can tell. So, yeah, he's not standing for this. And I will set my face against that man, and will cut him off from among his people, because he hath given of his seed unto Molech, to defile my sanctuary, and to profane my holy name. Yeah, that makes sense. You gotta remember, part of this, at least, is PR. Because, well, unsurprisingly, yeah, God ain't gonna stand for this no way, no how. There's also gonna be people that are coming in to Israel and be like, who's this Lord guy? What does he allow? What does he say? And then, of course, they're gonna look around, see somebody burning their child alive to a completely different god, but they're not gonna know that. In which, okay, I don't like him at all. It's like people who have had bad experience with Christians. That's not God. That's them being dumb. But, ultimately speaking, if you don't know, you don't know. And you're just gonna presume that this guy that carries the label of I follow this God just is the perfect representative of who these people are and what this guy wants. As the old saying goes, you're the only Bible some people are ever gonna read. You better be a good one. Because they're gonna look at you. And they're gonna be judging God by your actions, which is a bad idea. You should look into God and what he says on your own. You shouldn't even be listening to me, frankly. You should be reading along and reading on your own. Don't take my word for it. Go do your own research. God says to question everything. That includes me. But, nonetheless, yeah, a lot of people, it's like if there was a king out there, and you ran into this guy that followed this particular king, and he was the worst person you have ever met. That's gonna reflect on that king. Maybe, and you're gonna think, maybe I shouldn't follow that king if this is what he allows. It's basically that. Now, for all you know, that person could be lying about following that king, or he could be doing something that the king would not allow, would not like. But king's not here right now, so who's gonna stop him? It don't end well. And if the people of the land do any ways hide their eyes from the man, when he giveth his seed unto Molech, and kill him not, then I will set my face against that man and against his family, and will cut him off, and all that go a-whoring after him to commit whoredom with Molech, from among their people. Unsurprisingly, you go see somebody murdering their child, and you don't say anything about it. That's called being complicit in the act. You're the problem. Or at least part of the problem. So don't do that. Maybe report when you see a murder. And the soul that turneth after such as have familiar spirits, and after wizards to go a-whoring after them, I will even set my face against that soul, and will cut him off from among his people. Look, ultimately speaking, there's a lot of people that don't believe in the fortune-telling and the wizardry and the all that such. Doesn't matter. On one hand, there are people that just out and out lie about this. If you believe it's a complete and utter lie, unsurprisingly, don't follow after the lie. If this may have something to it, which is what God is stating and what is stated throughout the Bible, yeah, don't mess with it. So either it's a lie and you shouldn't mess with it, or it's real and you shouldn't mess with it. Best bet, don't mess with it. Let's see. Sanctify yourselves, therefore, and be ye holy, for I am the Lord your God. And ye shall keep my statutes, and do them. I am the Lord which sanctify you. For every one that curseth his mother or his father shall be surely put to death. He hath cursed his father or his mother, his blood shall be upon him. I do actually wonder what specifically this means by cursed his mother and his father. Is it just like a curse word, or is it something a little bit more? Like I put a curse on you, or something like that. I have no idea the actual context for that. But nonetheless. And the man that committeth adultery with another man's wife, even he that committeth adultery with his neighbor's wife, the adulterer and the adulteress, shall surely be put to death. For an example, in the New Testament with Jesus, you got that whole, let's stone the lady, let's stone the adulteress. Where's the adulterer? Where's the guy she was with? She was very clearly caught in the act. So where is the guy? Like, Jesus ain't a big old fan about killing anyone. Just in general. He came here specifically so we can stop doing that. So people can have a second chance, you know? That's his whole deal. This was here for a time. We don't gotta do that no more. But nonetheless, even if Jesus weren't there, that entire thing was illegal. Because it's the adulterer and the adulteress that shall be put to death. But the only person that was there was the adulteress. Where's the guy? Why is he getting off scot-free? And the man that lieth with his father's wife hath uncovered his father's nakedness. Both of them shall surely be put to death. Their blood shall be upon them. You know, the the son and the mother. Ugh. And if a man lie with his daughter-in-law, both of them shall surely be put to death. They have wrought confusion. Their blood shall be upon them. Yeah, God ain't a fan of incest, like, not at all. Not to any degree. If a man also lie with mankind, as he lieth with a woman, both of them have committed an abomination. They shall surely be put to death. Their blood shall be upon them. Yeah, as stated. Ain't a fan. A lot of people have a problem with that. But hey, that's between you and God, man. All I can tell you is that's what he said. A lot of people will say, oh, well, that's just like, talking about, like, you know, male prostitutes in the temple. When this was written, there is no temple. Closest thing we got is a tent that sits well outside the camp. No mention of no prostitutes nowhere. There's none of that. So, nice try. That's not what this is talking about. This is a man lying with mankind as with womankind to, do the do, as you can probably guess. In other words, don't. Unsurprisingly, this also goes with a woman on a woman. Again, don't. Verse 14. And if a man take a wife, and her mother, it is wickedness. They shall be burnt with fire, both he and they, that there be no wickedness among you. Yeah, you're supposed to betroth unto the one, not both of them. That's just gross. And if a man lieth with a beast, he shall surely be put to death, and ye shall slay the beast. Yeah, unsurprising. And if a woman approach unto any beast, and lie down thereto, thou shalt kill the woman and the beast. They shall surely be put to death. Their blood shall be upon them. Yeah, unsurprisingly, God ain't a big fan whatsoever when you try to do an animal. 'Cause gross. It is unsanitary in every single sense of the word. And if a man shall take his sister, his father's daughter, to his mother, or his mother's daughter, doesn't matter which one they came from, and see her nakedness, and she see his nakedness, it is a wicked thing, and they shall be cut off in the sight of their people. He hath uncovered his sister's nakedness, he shall bear his iniquity. Well, at least they're not killed this time. Then again, I'm pretty sure the be cut off in the sight of their people, I'm pretty sure that is exactly what that is. So, can't win them all. But yeah, unsurprisingly, don't do that. And if a woman shall lie with a woman having... And if a man shall lie with a woman having her sickness, to say a particular period of her life, and shall uncover her nakedness, he hath discovered her fountain, and she hath uncovered the fountain of her blood, and both of them shall be cut off from among their people. And we've been over that part a little bit in Exodus. Yeah, don't do that. That is not a time for sex. Don't do that. And thou shalt not uncover the nakedness of thy mother's sister, nor of thy father's sister, for he uncovereth his near kin. They shall bear their iniquity. No aunt, no uncle. That's off the menu as well. And if a man shall lie with his uncle's wife, he hath uncovered his uncle's nakedness. they shall bear their sin, they shall die childless. And if a man shall take his brother's wife, it is an unclean thing, he hath uncovered his brother's nakedness, they shall be childless. Ye shall therefore keep all my statutes and all my judgments, and do them, that the land whither I bring you, to dwell therein, spew you not out. Think of God, basically, as the guy that actually owns the land. He's got a particular set of rules that he wants anybody who lives on that land to follow. If you don't, you're getting evicted. Now, of course, he's gonna have mercy, and it's gonna take quite a while to do it. We got hundreds of years of Israeli history to go through after all. But, yeah, if there is no change, the eviction notice is coming. He will be knocking at your doorstep within the next few hours. And you shall not walk in the manner of the nations which I cast out before you, for they committed all these things, and therefore I abhorred them. Yeah. Unsurprisingly, from the sexual promiscuity and absolute disgusting nonsense, and the sacrificing their children alive, if I remember correctly, they were burnt alive, to Moloch, and various things such as, yeah, no, God ain't no fan. Realistically, the whole giving Israel their land is kind of killing two birds with one stone. He gives Israel the land as he promised to Abraham, and he gets these nations out of here because he does not like them in the slightest. Because they're doing all of this nonsense. But I have said unto you, ye shall inherit their land, and I will give it unto you to possess it, a land that floweth with milk and honey. I am the Lord your God, which have separated you from other people. Ye shall therefore put difference between clean beasts and unclean, and between unclean fowl and clean. And ye shall not make your souls abominable, by beast or by fowl or by any manner of living thing that creepeth on the ground, which I have separated from you as unclean. Follow the diet. You're going to live a much healthier life. And ye shall be holy unto me, for I the Lord am holy, and have severed you from other people, that ye should be mine. A man also or woman that hath a familiar spirit, or that is a wizard, shall surely be put to death. They shall stone them with stones, their blood shall be upon them. Now, a lot of us think of that as a particularly, harsh judgment. But, in greater context of, the situation that we're in as painted by the Bible, that makes sense. Because you gotta remember, these are people that are getting people away from God. And if you know anything about the Bible, that doesn't tend to end well. So their blood is upon that wizard or woman with familiar spirit's head. So don't murder the people. Don't do that. Don't lie to them. Don't murder the people. Don't do it. Ain't good. As you can tell, because God puts big ol' emphasis on, don't mess with this. It ain't gonna end well for you. Both in terms of this entire situation isn't going to end well for you in general, and also, I'm gonna make certain it doesn't end well for you. Because I told you very specifically not to do this. Like, if you told your child very specifically not to grab a cookie from the cookie jar, and then you see them with, cookie crumbs all over their mouth the next couple hours, you know very well what they did. And there will be punishment, whether it be just a simple little timeout or a spanking. It's up to your discretion. But there will be punishment, as I told you very specifically not to do this. Now, chapter 21. And the Lord spake unto Moses, Speak unto the priests, the sons of Aaron, and say unto them, There shall none be defiled for the dead among his people, but for his kin that is near unto him, that is, for his mother, and for his father, and for his son, and for his daughter, and for his brother, and for his sister, a virgin, specifically, that is nigh unto him, which hath had no husband, for her may he be defiled. In other words, basically, you're not allowed to bury the dead, unless it is specifically these people. Your father, your mother, your son, your daughter that doesn't have a husband, your wife, such as them. Yeah, you unsurprisingly, you can marry. You can marry them. Because unsurprisingly, there's not many other people that's gonna do that. So for them, you can mess with the dead body, just make certain to wash your hands afterwards, make yourself clean. But for everyone else, no. Let somebody else do that. But he shall not defile himself, being a chief man among his people, to profane himself. In other words, the high priest, you're not doing that no matter what. They shall not make baldness upon their head, neither shall they shave off the corner of their beard, nor make any cuttings in their flesh. Interesting. I still have no idea what the heck the shaving off the corners of their beard is, but apparently, don't shave your head either. And unsurprisingly, don't cut yourself. So I'm sorry, the high priests cannot have earrings. It's not happening. They shall be holy unto their God, and not profane the name of their God. For the offerings of the Lord made by fire, and the bread of their God they do offer. Therefore they shall be holy. They shall not take a wife that is a whore, or profane, neither shall they take a woman put away from her husband. In other words, a divorced woman. For he is holy unto his God. Thou shalt sanctify him therefore, for he offereth the bread of thy God. He shall be holy unto thee, for I the Lord which sanctify you am holy. And the daughter of any priest, if she profane herself by playing the whore, she profaneth her father, she shall be burned with fire. Another one of those reputation type of things. Don't let the sin stand. It's kind of like, a little later on, when Israel actually gets their land, there's going to be, this particular priest who has 2 sons. And they are horrible. They're absolutely just horrible people. Everybody knows it. And the father's not doing a dadgummit thing about it. So, unsurprisingly, God's not a fan. Because it looks bad on him. It looks bad on the high priest. And ultimately, the situation itself is just not good. Like, not on any level. So, unsurprisingly, he ain't gonna stand for this. He that is the high priest among his brethren, upon whose head the anointing oil was poured, and that is consecrated to put on the garments, shall not uncover his head, nor rend his clothes. Yeah, Caiaphas, high priest of Jesus' time. You're not supposed to tear the garment. That thing is expensive. Neither shall he go in to any dead body, nor defile himself for his father or for his mother. Yeah, clearly this is supposed to be specifically for the high priest, considering what we just got done talking about with the regular priests. Neither shall he go in to any dead body, or defile himself for his father or for his mother. In other words, he's not going to personally bury them. He's going to get somebody else to do it. Neither shall he go out of the sanctuary, nor profane the sanctuary of his God, for the crown of the anointing oil of his God is upon him. I am the Lord. And he shall take a wife in her virginity, a widow or a divorced woman, or profane, or an harlot, these shall he not take, but he shall take a virgin of his own people to wife. Neither shall he profane his seed among his people, for I the Lord do sanctify him. I don't actually know what that one is. Profaning his seed among his people. I don't know. And the Lord spake unto Moses, Speak unto Aaron, saying, Whosoever he be of thy seed, in their generations, that hath any blemish, let him not approach to offer the bread of his God. For whatsoever man he be that hath a blemish, he shall not approach, a blind man or a lame, or he that hath a flat nose, whatever that means, or anything superfluous, or a man that is broken-footed or broken-handed, or crook-backed, or dwarf, or that hath a blemish in his eye, or be scurvy, or scabbed, or hath his stones broken. No man that hath a blemish of the seed of Aaron the priest shall come nigh to offer the offerings of the Lord made by fire. Another one of them purity things. He hath a blemish. He shall not come nigh to offer the bread of his God. He shall eat the bread of his God, both of the most holy and of the holy. Only he shall not go in unto the veil, nor come nigh unto the altar, because he hath a blemish, that he profane not my sanctuaries, for I the Lord do sanctify them. Unsurprisingly, he's still a priest. He's just not doing the actual offerings. He's just doing other things about the sanctuary, you know? Sweeping the floors, making certain everything's clean and all that such. And he still gets to eat at the bread and the sacrifices and the all that such. Or at least the bread. I don't know about sacrifices, it doesn't specifically say. But he does still get to eat. He's just due as a priest. He's just not specifically allowed to, offer anything on an altar. And Moses told it unto Aaron, and to his sons, and unto all the children of Israel. And that is where we're going to stop. Thank you, God, that it did not thunder throughout the entirety of this. I was very worried it was going to. But, thank you for watching. I hope you had a good time, that you learned something. I know I did. I thought the, whole, if you have a blemish, I just thought it was you can't be a priest. No, you definitely still could. It's just the offerings you couldn't do. Good to know. You learn something new every day. So, thank you. God bless. And bye.